Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage. The following is a Sri Krishna Chaitanya book compilation given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on August 24th, 2021 in Sri Mayapur, India.
Pangung Langayate Girim Shri Gurum Dinatarina Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram. That's it. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, today we will continue with compilation of Shri Krishna Chaitanya book. Today's chapter is entitled Prakashananda Saraswati blasphemes Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Under the section The Lord Travels to Vrindavan, Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 17.101.
মহারাষ্ট্রীয় বিপ্রের আগমন ও প্রভুর আনুগত্য। মহারাষ্ট্রীয় বিপ্র আইসে প্রভু দেখিবারে, প্রভুর রূপ প্রেম দেখি হয় চমৎকারে।
At Varanasi, there was a Maharashtrian Brahmana who used to come daily to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This Brahmana was simply astonished to see the Lord's personal beauty and ecstatic love for Krishna.
Since Lord Chaitanya had descended from the spiritual world,
Since Lord Chaitanya had descended from the spiritual world,
his personal beauty was incomparable.
his personal beauty was incomparable.
And since his pastime was to relish the ecstasy of the devotee,
Since his pastime is to relish the ecstasy of a devotee
for Lord Krishna,
for Lord Krishna,
therefore he was experiencing unparalleled ecstasy all the time.
therefore he was experiencing unparalleled ecstasy all the time. C.C. Madhya 17.102.
প্রভুকে ভিক্ষা দিতে মায়াবাদী অবৈষ্ণব বিপ্রের অযোগ্যতা। বিপ্র সব নিমন্ত্রীয় প্রভু নাহি মানে, প্রভু কহে আজি মোর হইয়াছে নিমন্ত্রণে।
When the Brahmanas of Varanasi would invite Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to lunch, the Lord would not accept their invitation. He would reply, I have already been invited somewhere else. C.C. Madhya 17.103.
আশ্চর্য লীলাকারী প্রভুর মায়াবাদী সঙ্গ ত্যাগ। এই মতো প্রতিদিন করেন বচন, সন্ন্যাসীর সঙ্গ ভয়ে না মানে নিমন্ত্রণ।
Every day Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu refused their invitations because he feared associating with the Mayavadi sannyasis. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. A Vaishnava sannyasi never accepts an invitation from a party who considers Mayavadi sannyasis and Vaishnava sannyasis to be one and the same. In other words, Vaishnava sannyasi do not at all like to associate with Mayavadi sannyasis. To say nothing of eating with them, this principle must be followed by the sannyasis of the Krishna consciousness movement. That is the instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu given by his personal behavior.
Since Mayavadis consider each other as Narayana,
Since Mayavadis consider each other as Narayana,
therefore the Vaishnava sannyasis don't like to associate with them.
Therefore, the Vaishnava sannyasis don't like to associate with them,
since they are more than serving the Supreme Lord.
since they are absorbed in serving the Supreme Lord. CC Madhya 17.104.
প্রকাশানন্দের বহু শিষ্য সঙ্গে মায়াবাদ ব্যাখ্যা। প্রকাশানন্দ শ্রীপাদ সভাতে বসিয়া বেদান্ত পড়ান বহু শিষ্যগণ লইয়া।
There was a great Mayavadi sannyasi named Prakashananda Saraswati who used to teach Vedanta philosophy to his great assembly of followers. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Shripad Prakashananda Saraswati was a Mayavadi sannyasi, and his characteristics have been described in Chaitanya Bhagavat Mattha Khanda Chapter 3. Ashtapada Mukha Mor Nahika Lochan Ved More Ei Mato Kore Vidamban Kashite Padai Veta Prakashananda She Veta Kare Mor Anga Khanda Khanda Vyakanaye Ved Mor Vigna Na Mane Sharvange Haila Kushta Tabu Nahi Jane Sharva Yagnamoy Mor Ange Pavitra Aja Bhavo Adi Gai Yahar Charitra Punya Pavitra Pai E Anga Parashe Taha Mitya Bole Beta Kemon Shahashe. In the Madhya Kanda, chapter 20, it is said, being an impersonalist, Prakashananda Saraswati used to explain the absolute truth as being without hands, legs, mouths, or eyes. In this way, he used to cheat the people by denying the personal form of the Lord. Such a foolish person was Prakashananda Saraswati, whose only business was to sever the limbs of the Lord by proving the Lord impersonal. Although the Lord has form, Prakashananda Saraswati attempted to cut off the hands and legs of the Lord. This is the business of demons. The Vedas state that people who do not accept the Lord's form are rascals. The form of the Lord is factual, for Krishna states in the Bhagavad Gita, Vedeshta Sarver Ahameva Vedyaha. When Krishna says Aham, he says I am, which means I, the person. He adds the word Eva, which is used for conclusive verification. Thus, by studying Vedanta philosophy, one must come to know that the Supreme Person, whoever describes Vedic knowledge as impersonal, is a demon. One becomes successful in life by worshipping the form of the Lord. The Mayavadi sannyasis deny the form of the Lord, which delivers all fallen souls. Indeed, Mayavadi demon tried to cut the form to pieces. The personality of God is worshipped by exalted demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. The original Mayavadi sannyasi Shankaracharya also accepted the fact that the Lord's form is transcendental. Narayana Paro Vyaktat. Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is beyond Avyakta, the unmanifested material energy. Avyaktad Andasambhavaha. The material world is a creation of that unmanifested material energy. However, Narayana has his eternal form, which is not created by material energy. Simply by worshipping the form of the Lord, one is purified. However, Mayavadi sannyasis are impersonalist philosophers, and they describe the form of the Lord as Maya or false. How can one be purified by worshipping something else? Something false. Mayavadi philosophers have no sufficient reason for being impersonalists. They blindly follow a principle that cannot be supported by reason or argument. This was the situation with Prakashananda Saraswati, the chief Mayavadi sannyasi of Benares. He was supposed to teach Vedanta philosophy, but he would not accept the form of the Lord. Therefore, he was attacked with leprosy. Nonetheless, he continued to commit sins by describing the absolute truth as impersonal. The absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, always displays pastimes and activities But the Mayavadi sannyasis claim that these activities are false. Some people falsely claim that Prakashananda Saraswati later became known as Prabodhananda Saraswati, but this is not a fact. Prabodhananda Saraswati was the uncle and spiritual master of Gopala Bhatta Goswami. In his Grihastha life, Prabodhananda Saraswati was a resident of Sriranga Kshetra and belonged to the Vaishnava Ramanuja Sampradaya. It is a mistake to consider Prakashananda Saraswati and Prabodhananda Saraswati the same man.
So Prakashananda Saraswati was a Mayavadi who criticized Lord Chaitanya.
So Prakashananda Saraswati was a Mayavadi who criticized Lord Chaitanya.
And eventually Lord Chaitanya will explain to him how one should take shelter of Krishna.
Eventually, Lord Chaitanya will explain to him how one should take shelter of Lord Krishna
And Krishna's holy name.
and Krishna's holy name. CC Madhya 17.105.
তৎসমীপে এক বিপ্রের প্রভু চরিত্র বর্ণন। এক বিপ্র দেখিয়া আইলা প্রভুর ব্যবহার, প্রকাশানন্দ আগে কহে চরিত্র তাহার।
A Brahmana who saw the wonderful behavior of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Prakashananda Saraswati and described the Lord's characteristics.
Lord Chaitanya had transcendental characteristics.
Lord Chaitanya had transcendental characteristics.
These are explained to Sripad Prakashananda Saraswati.
This was explained to Sripad Prakashananda Saraswati. CC Madhya 17.106.
এক সন্ন্যাসী আইলা জগন্নাথ হইতে, তাহার মহিমা প্রতাপ না পারি বর্ণিতে।
The Brahmana told Prakashananda Saraswati, "There is a sannyasi who has come from Jagannath Puri, and I cannot describe his wonderful influence and glory."
So this Maharashtrian Brahmana was very impressed to see the personal beauty and activities of Lord Chaitanya.
This Maharashtrian Brahmana was very impressed to see the personal beauty and activities of Lord Chaitanya.
So he was trying to explain this to Sripad Prakashananda Saraswati.
And he was trying to explain this to Sripad Prakashananda Saraswati. CC Madhya 17.107.
ঈশ্বর লক্ষণ সম প্রভুতে বিরাজমান, সকল দেখিয়ে তাতে অদ্ভুত কথন, প্রকাণ্ড শরীর শুদ্ধ কাঞ্চন বরণ।
Everything is wonderful about that sannyasi. He has a very well built and luxuriant body, and his complexion is like purified gold.
Lord Chaitanya is 7 feet tall.
Lord Chaitanya is 7 feet tall.
Arms down to his knees.
His arms goes down to his knees.
He's golden color.
He is in golden color.
Therefore he's known as Gauranga.
Therefore is known as Gauranga. CC Madhya 17.108.
আজানুলম্বিত ভুজ কমল নয়ন, যত কিছু ঈশ্বরের সর্বসুলক্ষণ।
He has arms that extend to his knees, and his eyes are like petals of a lotus. In his person are all transcendental symptoms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
This Maharashtrian Brahman describing some of the transcendental qualities of Lord Chaitanya.
So this Maharashtrian Brahmin is describing some of the transcendental qualities of Lord Chaitanya. CC Madhya 17.109.
ভাগবত কথিত ঈশ্বর বা মহাভাগবত লক্ষণ নিচয় প্রভুতে বিদ্যমান। তাহা দেখি জ্ঞান হয় এই নারায়ণ, যেই তারে দেখে করে কৃষ্ণ সংকীর্তন।
When one sees all these features, one takes him to be Narayan himself. Whoever sees him immediately begins to chant the holy name of
Krishna,
Krishna.
Lord Chaitanya, simply by seeing him, one got inspired to engage in the congregational chanting Sankirtan.
So, Lord Chaitanya, simply by seeing him, one becomes inspired to engage in the congregational chanting of the Hare Krishna, of the names of Krishna. C.C. Madhya 17.110.
মহাভাগবত লক্ষণ শুনি ভাগবতে, সেসব লক্ষণ প্রকট দেখায়ে তাহাতে।
We have heard about the symptoms of a first-class devotee in Srimad Bhagavatam, and all those symptoms are manifest in the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
So, he was saying all these transcendental symptoms mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam
So he was seeing all these transcendental symptoms mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam
in the person of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
in the person of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. C.C. Madhya 17.111.
নিরন্তর কৃষ্ণ নাম জিহ্বা তার গায়, দুই নেত্র অশ্রু বহে গঙ্গাধারা প্রায়।
His tongue is always chanting the holy name of Krishna, and from his eyes tears incessantly fall like the flowing Ganges. C.C. Madhya 17.112.
ক্ষণে নাচে হাসে গায় করায়ে ক্রন্দন, ক্ষণে হুঙ্কার করে সিংহের গর্জন।
Sometimes he dances, laughs, sings, cries, and sometimes he roars like a lion. C.C. Madhya 17.113.
অলৌকিক নাম রূপ গুণ লীলাযুক্ত কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য, জগৎ মঙ্গল তার কৃষ্ণ চৈতন্য নাম, নাম রূপ গুণ তার সব অনুপম।
His name,
Krishna Chaitanya,
Krishna Chaitanya, is all auspicious for the world. Everything about him, his name, form, qualities are unparalleled.
any neutral person will appreciate great qualities of Lord Chaitanya.
Any neutral person can appreciate the great qualities of Lord Chaitanya. C.C.
Whether the Mayavadis will do so is doubtful.
Whether the Mayavadis will do so is doubtful. C.C. Madhya 17.140.
শ্রদ্ধাবানের ঈশ্বর দর্শনেই তৎকৃপায় তচেষ্টা অনুভব, শুধু তর্কপন্থায় শ্রবণ নিষ্ফল মাত্র। দেখিলে সে জানি তার ঈশ্বরের রীতি, অলৌকিক কথা শুনি কে করে প্রতীতি।
Simply by seeing him, one understands that he possesses all the characteristics of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such characteristics are certainly uncommon. Who will believe it?
This Brahman, he was so impressed by seeing the transcendental qualities of Lord Chaitanya.
So, this Brahmin was so impressed by seeing the transcendental qualities of Lord Chaitanya.
He great joy is describing what he saw.
In great joy, he is describing what he saw. CC Madhya 17.115.
প্রভুর চরিত্র শ্রবণে তর্কপন্থী প্রকাশানন্দের প্রভুকে ব্যঙ্গ বিদ্রুপ বা অবজ্ঞা শুনিয়া প্রকাশানন্দ বহুত হাসিলা, বিপ্রে উপহাস করি কহিতে লাগিলা।
Prakashananda Saraswati laughed very much to hear this description. Joking and laughing at the Brahmana, he began to speak as follows.
So it seems that Prakashananda Saraswati didn't really accept the transcendental qualities of Lord Chaitanya.
It seems that Prakashananda Saraswati didn't really accept the transcendental qualities of Lord Chaitanya.
Tried to laugh it off.
He's tried to laugh it off. CC Madhya 17.160.
স্বীয় মায়াবাদ হলাহল উদ্গার শুনিয়াছি গৌড় দেশের সন্ন্যাসী ভাবক কেশব ভারতী শিষ্য লোক প্রতারক।
Prakashananda Saraswati said, "Yes, I've heard about him. He's a sannyasi from Bengal and he's very sentimental. I've also heard that he belongs to the Bharati Sampradaya, for he is a disciple of Keshava Bharati. However, he is only a pretender." Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was considered bhavuka, sentimental, because he was always seen in the bhava stage. That is, he always exhibited ecstatic love for Krishna. However, foolish people considered him sentimental. In the material world, so-called devotees sometimes exhibit emotional symptoms. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstatic love cannot be compared to the imitative emotional exhibitions of pretenders. Such exhibitions do not continue for very long, they are temporary. We actually see that some emotional imitators exhibit certain symptoms, but immediately after their exhibition, they are attracted to smoking and other things. In the beginning, when Prakashananda Saraswati heard of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's activities, he considered them to be those of a pretender. Consequently, he called him Loka Prataraka, a pretender. Mayavadis cannot understand the transcendental symptoms exhibited by a devotee. Therefore, when such symptoms are manifest, the Mayavadis equate them with temporary emotional feelings. However, Prakashananda Saraswati's statement is offensive, and consequently, he should be considered as an atheist, Pashandi. According to Srila Rupa Goswami, since Prakashananda Saraswati was not engaged in the Lord's devotional service, his sannyasa is to be considered Falgu Vairagya. This means that since he did not know how to use things for the Lord's service, his renunciation of the world is artificial.
She thought Prakashananda Saraswati was taking the transcendental symptoms of Lord Chaitanya
So, Sripad Prakashananda Saraswati was taking the transcendental qualities of Lord Chaitanya
as something mundane or material.
as something mundane or material.
Lord Chaitanya's ecstasy was real.
Lord Chaitanya's ecstasy was real.
It describes that in Ramgili, sometimes he would laugh ecstatically for 6 hours.
It is described that sometimes in Ramkeli he would laugh in ecstasy for 6 hours.
And constantly experiencing different transcendental emotions.
He was constantly experiencing different transcendental emotions.
It can't be understood by the Mayavadis.
This can't be understood by the Mayavadis.
They criticize the Lord,
So they criticize the Lord,
not realizing his actual position.
not realizing his actual position. CC Madhya 17.117.
চৈতন্য নাম তার ভগবান বইয়া দেশে দেশে গানে গানে ভুলে না চাইয়া।
Prakashananda Saraswati continued, I know that his name is Chaitanya and that he is accompanied by many sentimentalists. His followers dance with him and he tours from country to country and village to village.
The Mayavadis do not appreciate the actual mercy of Lord Chaitanya.
So the Mayavadis, they cannot appreciate the actual mercy of Lord Chaitanya,
How engage everyone in a loving devotional service
and how he
of Lord
engaged
Krishna.
and how he engaged everyone in the loving devotional service to Lord Krishna. CC Madhya 17.118.
যেই তারে দেখে সেই ঈশ্বর করি কহে হইছে মোহন বিদ্যা যে দেখে সে মোহে।
Whoever sees him accepts him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, since he has some mystic power by which he hypnotizes people. Everyone who sees him becomes illusioned.
So, Prakashananda Saraswati is trying to pass off Lord Chaitanya's loving ecstasies
So Prakashananda Saraswati was trying to pass off Lord Chaitanya's loving ecstasies
and transcendental sentiments
and transcendental symptoms
and some kind of mystic magical power
as some kind of mystic magical power
that people think he's transcendental.
that people would think that he is transcendental.
This is the offensive mentality of Mayavadi Sannyasi.
This is the offensive mentality of the Mayavadi sannyas. CC Madhya 17.119.
সার্বভৌম ভট্টাচার্য পণ্ডিত প্রবল শনি চৈতন্যের সঙ্গে হইলা পাগল।
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was a very learned scholar, but I have heard that he also has become a madman due to his association with this Chaitanya.
So, Prakashananda Saraswati is very envious against Lord Chaitanya.
So this Prakashananda Saraswati was very envious against Lord Chaitanya.
And he was he's only blasphemies against Lord Chaitanya.
And he was making all these blasphemies against Lord Chaitanya. CC Madhya 17.120.
সন্ন্যাসী নামমাত্র মহাইন্দ্র জালি কাশীপুরে না বিকাবে তার ভাব কালী।
This Chaitanya is a sannyasi in name only. Actually, he is a first class magician. In any case, his sentimentalism cannot be very much demand here in Kashi.
Kashi, place of impersonalism,
Kashi is the place of impersonalism.
naturally, the impersonalists not appreciate Lord Chaitanya,
Naturally, the impersonalists do not appreciate Lord Chaitanya.
not take his mercy.
They do not take his mercy.
Lord Chaitanya makes them plan some strategy how to also bring in these impersonalists.
So, Lord Chaitanya would make some plan, some strategy, how to bring in this impersonalism. CC Madhya 17.120.
বেদান্ত শ্রবণ কর, না যাইহ তার পাশ, উচ্ছৃঙ্খল লোক সঙ্গে দুই লোক নাশ।
Do not go to see Chaitanya. Just continue hearing Vedanta. If you associate with upstarts, you will be lost in this world and in the next. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The word Uchrinkala means whimsical, is significant in this verse. In the Bhagavad Gita 16.23, Lord Krishna himself says, Yashast. If one acts whimsically and does not follow the Shastric principles, he will never attain perfection, happiness, or the spiritual world.
So the Mayavadi sannyasi being so critical of Lord Chaitanya,
So the Mayavadi sannyasis was being so critical of Lord Chaitanya.
and blaspheming him so many ways,
He's blaspheming him in so many ways,
telling the devotee, Brahmana not to see him.
and telling the devotee, the Brahmana, not to go and see him. CC Madhya 17.122.
প্রভু নিন্দা শ্রবণে বিপ্রের, কৃষ্ণ স্মরণ পূর্বক স্থান পরিত্যাগ। এত শুনি সেই বিপ্র, মহা দুঃখ পাইলা, কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ কহি তথা হইতে উঠি গেলা।
When the Brahmana heard Prakashananda Saraswati speak like this about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became very much grief-stricken. Chanting the holy name of Krishna, he immediately left.
This is one of the alternatives. One hears some blasphemy, they should remember Krishna and leave that place.
If one hears some blasphemy, they should chant the names of Krishna and immediately leave that place.
Vamana, he knew the actual position of Lord Chaitanya.
The Brahmana, he knew the actual position of Lord Chaitanya.
When he heard these offensive statements, immediately remembered Krishna and left.
When he heard this offensive statement, he immediately remembered Krishna and left. Thus ends the chapter entitled Prakashananda Saraswati blasphemes Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Under the section, the Lord travels to Vrindavan.
On this subject, example, the kind of blasphemy Mayavadi sannyasis were committing on Lord Chaitanya.
This was the example, the kind of blasphemy that Mayavadi sannyasis were committing on Lord Chaitanya.
So they were, although Lord Chaitanya had given his love to everyone,
Although Lord Chaitanya had given his love to everyone in Benares,
but the Mayavadi sannyasis were deprived of his mercy
but the Mayavadi sannyasis were deprived of his mercy
by their own offensive behavior.
by their own offensive behavior.
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.